Hey everyone, thank you for tuning into today's video. Today's video is going to be a different twist on a budget plan video. So as you can see from the title, this is going to be my budget planning expense tracking method, old school style pen and paper. If you've seen my last videos, you would know that I did try out a budget planner and it didn't work for me. Simply because it wasn't enough space to accommodate all of my bills. I didn't really find it functional to the things that I wanted to capture. So I gave that up and I went back. For the past couple months, I've just been using a regular notebook to just capture my expenses for the month and to check them off as they get paid. So the thing that I do is I go down the list, since we do have so many bills, and just write them down, the due date, the amount. Typically, these are all the recurring bills. If they're not the recurring bills, then I always go into the portal to see what the new amount will be. And when the bill either drafts or when I pay it, then I check it off. So we're going to get started, just so I can kind of walk through what I do in my notebook. And I use a lot of abbreviations, but that's our mortgage. We have small children and they are in daycare. My daughter is in private school, so she has tuition. She also has after school. Then I put some of our other bills. So my car is not paid off. My husband's car. We have timeshare. We wrestle back and forth with whether or not we want to continue on with that, but nonetheless we have it, so we need to make sure that we're paying it monthly. We do use it, so no shade there. Our insurance, our life insurance, which is now a different company, but nonetheless, for our cable. And you'll get the gist of what I mentioned in my previous budget planning video, what I meant when I said we have a lot of bills, a lot of recurring bills. One thing that I always note every month is the quarterly bills as well. Our HOA, it only drafts quarterly, but when I do my line down the middle and the amounts, I just put a line through it, and then I make a note of when it's due next. The last two things that I track are the allowance and the weekend cash. We are trying to be more aggressive with our debt pay down. So we started doing an allowance method, and I want to make sure that we are sticking to that. And then the weekend cash is just for like family outings and things like that, for us to use the cash method, since we are trying to be more aggressive with paying down our bills. So the next thing that I'll do, I drew the line so that I can put the date that the bill is due. And since this is December, typically I can just go down and put when everything is due. For the auto draft bills, I typically put an A. Not all of our bills are auto drafted, but some of them are. some of the dates I'm looking at them, they may not be completely exact. I think that's the 20th. Go back to the previous month. So like I said, I've been doing this a few months just to try a different method. I'll finish filling in the dates that I don't know when I look at my spreadsheet. I don't know when that one is. And then I withdraw the allowance on the 1st so that we can have it, and it is $20 each for a total of $40. And then the weekend cash, I try to withdraw it in increments. So that's just like cash on hand for simple things. So I'll fill this in with the dollar amount. And then I'll fill in the next 2 dates. The other thing that I do for, excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, for the month is to do the credit cards. And I will list those out. And when they are due, and similar to the way that I do the other expense page, I just draw a line and then I do the amount and I check them off as I pay them. Like for example, I know I paid this one that was due on the 1st, so it gets a check mark. And then the third thing that I do every month is I do a financial notes page. And for this page, I just do a mind dump at the start of the month for everything that I know is one-offs that may come up. So since this is December, I know we have our kids' Christmas, their gifts. We have our family Christmas. And then we have giving. We have travel. So that's going to require additional gas, and then contributing to food for family events and things like that. And then the last thing that we have that's a one-off, I'm going back to my spreadsheet, is our timeshare maintenance. That's actually not the last thing because I believe one of us is coming up on an oil change. So when I look at the month, I try to account for, what's the cycle for oil changes, what's any one-off bills that are like annual that may be coming due in the actually talking to you guys, I remembered about the car taxes. So I try to capture those things as well. And then as I go throughout the month and I pay those things or we purchase those things, I check them off and I put how much we spent. So we can kind of get an idea when we are reflecting over the year, or when we go to plan the next year in December, we can go back to a reference point to say, okay, well, we spent about this much money on gifts, or we spent this much money on travel, we went these places and it cost us this much, so that we can help plan for the future and other months to come. So that's about it. That's how I utilize an old school notebook method for tracking my expenses and my financial notes for the month. I do have an Excel spreadsheet that I use that's more elaborate, where I track to the penny, but I'm not going to share that because it has all of our financial information in it. But I did want to share how I maintain our bills, so that I can be a good steward over our obligations that we have from a financial perspective. So I hope this video was helpful. Make sure that you thumbs it up. Also, don't forget to subscribe so that you can follow me for more videos to come. Thanks so much.